Welcome back to Primary Source China Investment. Peng.guo and I are here for show U3. And the title of this one is Nowhere to Hide. For those who've been following AShares, year-to-date performance has been bad. It's down 17.25%, something like that, the CSI 300. And this week, we wanted to look at some of those individual sectors and see where the performance has been. Some may be surprising, others not so much. The four largest sectors, let's just grab those real quick. The four largest are industrials, financials and real estate, consumer staples, and information technology. And we're going to put names and charts and all this stuff so everybody understands what we're talking about. But those four were all down. Actually, every sector was down except one, and we'll get to that. So industrials down 15.79, financials and real estate down 14.16, consumer staples down 12.93, and information technology down a whopping 33.62. Now, the only sector that was up was, as everybody can probably guess, energy, and that was up a lot. That was up 44.61%. The problem with that is it's a very small allocation in the CSI 300. All sectors other than energy were down. All sectors other than energy and utilities were down double digits.
Probably before we see this year, we might look an overview of the China AShare market. It really just stopped the downtrend in the early of the 2019 and then get bumpy and flattened almost to the in the middle of the 2020. And after that, it get up to the higher level. And then for this year, AShare market break the resistance line and then starting the downtrend. Yeah, so it's continued 4 months. That is a significant drop and hurt pretty much all the fund. That's no doubt. And after that, it get the 2 months bounce back, and then it's reached the monthly resistance, and a lot of the selling pressures. The good thing is it's not continued, so it looks like at least it's stopped the worst in the Asian market. And then after certain of the bumpy, it's probably get some opportunities to get up.
Yeah, we talked about this last week. You know, China investors are put their hands in their pocket. They're really not buying anything. So in the absence of buyers, you probably have more sellers. I mean, you were talking about the range of returns. You know, if you go back to 2020, CSI 300 was at like 4,000. It peaked at, you know, maybe almost 6,000 in the beginning of 2021, and it's been selling off back down to the 4,000 level since then. So, you know, that's a big move. 4,000 to 6,000 back to 4,000. Those are big moves. But it does look like some bottom is forming there. I mean, that's not to say we could have, you know, many more months of bad news. You know, the macro coming out of China is still a lot of headwinds. So it doesn't look like there's an impetus to start buying.
I really feel like the CSI 300, they get pretty much stopped the loss right now. The bottom is get slowly up, so as all show the positive side to them. Whoever already suffered the loss just waited.
Yeah,
the time happy you get a recover.
If we look at industrials, the biggest name in industrials, remember, industrials was down 15.79, and industrials is the largest weighting in the CSI 300 with 22.31%. The largest name there is CATL, and listeners know we like CATL. It's a great firm. That's been down 20% year to date, although it's up more than 20% from its May low. But it's expensive. Currently has a 50 PE. In this sector, a lot of these are big SOEs, China State Construction, Yunnan Energy. These are, you know, big energy plays. If you have to, you know, if you think of big institutions, high net worth individuals, pensions, endowments, those kind of things, they are allocating, you know, every month money comes in, so they have to reallocate. So my advice is, if you have to hide out somewhere, you know, hide out somewhere. I wouldn't be chasing these energies and utilities trades. I would probably be hanging out in financials. If you're hanging out in financials, you know, you're looking at a 7 PE and a 4% dividend in a name like Ping An or a name like China Merchants. There's been some headlines about defaults, but these kind of companies are well capitalized, have huge balance sheets. And if you're going to hide out and you have to be in equities, this is probably the place I would be hiding out.
Yeah, that's great.
I did want to talk about information technology because I want to put some of those names up. I'm pretty sure our followers do not know these names. If you look at Luxshare, the Hangzhou Hikvision, that's the camera, large surveillance state. A lot of these names they're not on the run names for U.S. investors. The big names from tech that are were listed in the U.S. and now back to Hong Kong are much more familiar to our followers. So these are the kind of names that are on the mainland. And this sector has done horribly year to date. It's down 33.62%. But remember, KWeb, which is all those tech firms, is also down, but not down as much, down 22.14%. There's been a tech wreck. There's no doubt about it. Not as bad in some of those great foreign listed or previously foreign listed names.
Yeah, I think tech group definitely is a hot topic. Firstly, it's unclear in this sector because there's so many new name, new business. They get overlapped. They also integrate with other big names. They probably like the spin. I really can feel confused as soon as you talk about tech.
Well, there's also communication services, right? So that's another sector which is 2% weighting, and those names is like media companies, and China Mobile is in there, Focus Media is in there. Those could tangentially be called tech companies also.
That's true. And if you see like the Nasdaq index, so you probably know the tech sectors is really like the high beta sectors.
Yeah.
So that's really the growth, and a lot of the potential revenues, it really rely on the no interest rate. So if like the interest rate get a huge change, obviously these sectors will get hurt.
This point is actually very interesting. You talk about the tech in the US is high beta because the largest companies are tech companies in the US now. 25 years ago, that was not the case, but now certainly, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, I don't think Amazon's considered tech anymore, but, in terms of the sectors, but these large companies are in the tech sector. Whereas in China, we're reading these names from the tech group, and, none of these are going to make it into the top names in terms of the overall weighting. And you can see the tech sector in China is 10% of the CSI 300.
Yeah, I remember in the US market, as long as any sector is the market cap more than 40%, that's really the big bubble. They have the financial, energy, and the tech. As long as the market cap gets bigger, obviously there's a bubble coming with that. Yeah, in China, I think a lot of the challenges for the tech company, if you see the CATL or other like the good performance tech companies, they still relate to the market theme. Like what is the market theme recently? Inflation and energy. So I think the big loss, not just because the entire sectors get hurt by the bigger environment, and also because they're probably overpriced by the previous purchase.
Definitely. So before we go, I want to get your thoughts on the energy sector. It's up, 44.6% year to date. What do you think that trade holds, or do you think people are going to take some money off the table, or what's your thoughts going forward?
Energy sector is also complicated. Obviously, like the renewable energy sector is the hot and get the bigger potentials in the future. In China, the best performance in the energy sector probably the photovoltaic. So that is this came from the sun, so it's like used forever.
So you think that theme probably continues?
Yeah, I think that definitely will continues. Obviously, during the market volatility, always buy low.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're looking at buying low, you're not going to be looking at those big energy names, and those big energy names. This is coal, China Petroleum, PetroChina, another coal company, and then oil field services. So that's I wouldn't call those clean energy, but the photovoltaic, that actually is its own sector. I'll put a chart up of that when we get to the editing of the video. Okay, we're going to leave it there this week. Thanks for tuning in. Peng.guo, it's good to see you, and we'll catch you next week.
Thank you.